Hello, ladies and gentlemen, crypto deep divers. Welcome back to Weekly Crypto. So today I'm going to talk about ESG. So ESG stands for environmental, social, and governance. So I touched on ESG probably in my previous video. You can go back and check it out. I think posted in Bitchute as well. So before we get into that, make sure you subscribe to my channel so don't miss out the upcoming video that could be time sensitive. Also, you can follow me on Bitchute. Bitchute is you can see some of the videos that I can't even talk about in YouTube. I usually post it in Bitchute. If you're interested, you can go over there. I talk about different topics that I can't even talk about in YouTube. So if you're interested, you can go over to Bitchute. I also on Twitter as well as Gather as well, and Odysee. So you can check out Odysee. Odysee is a decentralized YouTube. You can basically earn library token just by joining Odysee and just by watching video. If you're interested, you can click the link below. That will help out my channel. I also on Rumble as well. Rumble fun stuff. I usually post on Rumble. And I also have a Patreon group. If you're interested, you can check it out. Join the Patreon group. So let's talk about the ESG. So I touched on ESG yesterday regarding the environmental, social, and governance. And also this is related to climate change and also a whole bunch of agenda about climate change, carbon credit, and everything. So 19 states is going to investigate the banks for the ESG style commitment to United Nations Alliance. So this is part of the United Nations initiatives, and ESG basically is the proponent proposed by the World Economic Forum. Basically, they want to have a net zero banking, net zero no carbon emissions policy, and so 19 state attorney general, they have launched investigation on major financial institution commitment to the UN net zero banking alliance. And that is they're going to those alliance websites. They stated that the member control roughly 40% of the world banking asset. That's a lot, and are committed to aligning their lending and investment portfolio with net zero emissions by 2050. The Net Zero Alliance is a banking alliance. It's a massive worldwide agreement by major banking institutions overseen by the UN, United Nations, to staff the company engaged in fossil fuel-related activities of credit on national and international market. So, I mean, this is a huge blow to the fossil fuel industry, and also this will increase the price of energy, and this will unfortunately pass to consumer. So your gas bill, your electricity bill, and your propane, those natural gas bill will be higher because they are not going to give money to the company that has fossil fuel activities. This is insane. I mean, you cannot just stop everything so drastically. You have to have some type of phase out. But if they start doing that, then all these companies do not have the money to exploit. To discover some new wells and whatnot and all that. And and they're saying that they're leading the coalition investigating bankers for ceding authority to the UN, which only results in killing American companies that don't subscribe to the woke culture agenda. These banks are accountable to American laws. We don't let international bodies set the standard for our business. Yeah, that's true. I mean, you have your own state law and you have your own federal law, but and then you don't have to necessarily follow the international laws because the international laws, they have different standard, different culture, different they have different bodies and all that. And I think it makes perfect sense. So the states, I think the 19 states include Arizona, Arkansas, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Mississippi, Montana, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Texas, Tennessee, and Virginia. And surprisingly, Florida is not there. So they are among the states that now investigate the bank through a powerful tool known as Civil Investigate Demand. And on demand, it composed the following request: describe your involvement in the global climate initiative, and in which you participate, including the date you first began participate, and the promises, the pledge or commitment you made to the Global Climate Initiative. And all this, I think, this is just to find out if the banking industry participate in those things. And so this is a long-running conflict between the major financial institution and individual U.S. state regarding ESG. And state treasuries such as West Virginia have sought to move their state money from financial institutions that follow ESG principle. I mean, that makes perfect sense. I mean, if you really don't want to participate in this, supporting this scheme, yeah, just take your money out from that financial institution, support the ESG. And so states are holding big banks accountable for obvious violations and for peddling highly questionable climate initiatives under the label of ESG, all part of the coordinated effort to handicap American energy at the expenses of U.S. consumer. I mean, that is true, very true, because at the end of the day, the company is not going to pay for it, and all this cost is going to pass to consumer. Just like how much you pay for the gas at the pump, how much you pay for the electricity bill and the natural gas and everything. And so, of course, on the flip side, the environmental group, they criticize the UN Alliance for Accommodate Financial Institutions that they believe they haven't gone far enough in divesting from coal, oil, and natural gas. Yes and no, but you got to have a balance. You cannot just 100% switch to non-fossil fuels. Another thing I want to point out is those non-fossil fuel like solar panel and lithium iron phosphate battery, those raw materials, where does those raw materials come from? They come from Africa, right? So you exploit they exploit the natural resources from the third world country. And even worse, in Africa, they use child labor to mine those lithium, those cobalt for your electric car. I mean, does it make sense to you? And the lifespan of those solar panel or lithium phosphate battery maybe 5 years, right? And then you throw it away, and then you have so much, waste end up in the landfill. And yet you're mining the natural resources in Africa. You exploit the child labor in Africa. If you see some of the videos, they mine the lithium or cobalt in African nations using child labor. I mean, of course, nobody talk about it, right? And it's time for the Net Zero Banking Alliance to make clear that the banks who continue to finance massive fossil fuel expansion while making grand pronouncements about climate change are not welcome in the alliance. And of course, I think the journalists reached out to Bank of America, Citigroup, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, and Wells Fargo for comment, and they declined to comment. Of course, they don't want to comment. I mean, they don't want to get into any of this. But this is they're following the World Economic Forum agenda. In the name of climate change, they can control a lot of stuff. For example, carbon credit. And basically, the carbon credit is supposed to be imposed in the company, not imposed in the individual level. And I think the plan is to impose in an individual level. So if you use up your carbon credit for this month, you probably cannot drive. So that's why they want to use electric car. If they use electric car, that means you cannot, basically they control your car. You cannot even start your vehicle. So if your carbon credit quota, already fill up this month, you can't even drive your car. Or you cannot even buy meat. You cannot eat meat, okay? Or you cannot do this and you cannot do that. So this is part of I think they want to impose carbon credit. In the name of climate change, they use carbon credit to control the habits of worldwide citizens. I could be wrong. I mean, so if ESG is so good, so what happened to Sri Lanka? Sri Lanka has the highest ESG score, and yes, they go bankrupt in 2019. And I think they go bankrupt, and then they have over 100% inflation, and also they ban the import of fertilizer, and they basically their whole economy go haywire. And of course, I think it's 2020. I think it's 2022. I think 2019 they have a new guy to come come in campaign saying that they're going to imposing all this thing. They're going to make the country rich again, using the ESG method or whatever. And they ban fertilizer, and then all because of banning fertilizer, they can't export because most of the 90% of the I think most of the they rely on agriculture in Sri Lanka, like tea and also tourism. And of course, COVID wiped out the tourism. And also, I think that most of them are employed in the private, in the agricultural area. And then they basically imposing the ESG in Sri Lanka basically wipe out the whole economy. Right now, they basically have over 100% inflation. They go bankrupt. And yeah, they have 100%. They score the highest in ESG, have the highest ESG score, but they go bankrupt. So wake up, guys. I mean, come on. So let me know what you think about the ESG, and do you think it's a good idea to do this in America? And I would love to hear from you. If you find this video helpful, smash the like, subscribe to my channel, also share with your friends. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out the upcoming videos that could be time sensitive or could be important. Also, you can follow me on Twitter, Gather, as well as Odysee. And of course, you can find fun stuff in Rumble. And if you're interested, you can join my Patreon group. Remember, crypto deep divers, we the people take control of our destiny and our wealth. Stay wise, stay safe, peace. I'm not your financial advisor. Investing in a cryptocurrency, commodity, and stock market can have inherent business due diligence. This video is only for entertainment purposes, not a financial advice. And you should consult with your financial planner. And I am not responsible for any loss for this video or future video. You are responsible for your money. And peace out.